In terms of when you call time on your tenure in the DPSA, what are some of the issues that you would like to have, or some of the things you would like to have achieved, and when you walk out the door for the
Are
DPSA?
you suggesting that you're going to recall me very soon?
No,
I'm
no, I'm
not
saying
sure.
when
No,
you
I heard you. I hear what you're saying. I thought
yeah.
you've got that, what you call power to reshuffle. So you're just wanting me to tell. What I would actually want to see is a legacy where public servants have gone back completely to the basics, where issues like principles of Patupile, you don't find them hanging on the walls of government departments because you don't need that. But you can know that there's something that is called Patupile through your experience, your personal experience with every public servant. Because you must remember who we are. If we look at issue of crime, issue of employment, job creation, and all those things, all our endeavor shall never succeed because the engine that should drive that is the public servants. I always say, even people who decide to join planet Earth, though if you go to the hospitals here, those that will be born today, their first contact is not even their mothers. Some will see their mothers the second day if there are some complications. That midwife that is standing in the gap, that is who we are. So hard as is, under trying circumstances, I would like to leave behind me public servants that keeps on keeping on, no matter what. You know, yesterday when we were having imbiz, there was an old lady who stood there and commented, asking government to assist in some issues. With that old lady was a young girl, I think she is 9 years or so. You know, I remembered what I said when I was addressing the staff here, that our department does what the heart does to the body. We sustain the livelihood, the life rather. So to myself, I said, if this old lady at about 80 to 90 years is seated here asking government to intervene in service delivery challenges, she's got a granddaughter of 9 years. Even if my heart wants to fail, but it dare not, because it must sustain the process until this young girl of 9 years is able to reach that 90 years. So that is the legacy that I want to leave behind. I would be happy if I would be able to do that, working together with this able team that I was given, which are yourselves.
Recently, there was a workshop on policy integration for wellness, employee health and wellness. If you could just touch on some of the resolutions that came from that, if you can, what specific measures are being taken to improve the general health and wellness of public servants?
I think the resolutions were done towards the end and I was no longer there. But in relation to the overall workshop, that was a very important workshop to take place because it shows that as an employer, we appreciate the fact that you will never have a public servant that is performing at its optimal if you don't care of the wellness of those people. Because as I just alluded to before, that you've got people who are going through so much psychologically. Some of them are working in the department, in different departments rather, but they come from different families. The struggles that they have, you know, if you are a breadwinner, you are looking after 5 families alone. The salary that you are getting at the end of the month is not enough. So that will impact on your life. So I went to a point when I was addressing them to say that if you are in charge of a team in your department, you are a manager, whether it's junior manager or a senior manager, and you have never met the family of those that are reporting direct to you. You have not mastered the art of being a manager. Because if you go closer to those people, you are able to understand their challenges and you are able to deal with them accordingly. Sometimes we are always looking at employees as if we want to see the wrong in them. Even if they are not performing, we just measure their performance against their contract, forgetting that for them to be able to deliver on those performances, there must be a healthy environment that they are coming from. If they are happy at home, you are going to have happy employees at work. You know, to an extent that we also looked at the issues of ukutwasa, which is something that we have never cared. Some people like to have few days off to address those things because it's cultural to them, it's their belief. And we say, no, there is no such because we don't believe in that. Saying, let us try and have a holistic approach and try to be there for our employees and try to assist them all the way, because some issues cannot be addressed through the Western means. But our own culture does provide for some solutions to our plight. But the wellness of employees is key. And we'll only have happy employees when they are well holistically.
And finally, Minister, are there any plans to hold, I don't know, it could be workshops, you know, or implementation measures to help the public service leaders navigate and reconcile the diverse political ideologies within their roles?
I'm not sure whether I understand your questions, because I think your question seeks to speak to what I tried to mention earlier on. If you say they have to navigate the diverse political, what you call differences.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in the space of public servants.
Okay.
As public servant, even myself, I'm not interested to understand what that person's political idea is. All I'm here for is to serve. So politicians should discuss their politics in their own boardrooms. When they come into offices, we want to see ministers, not political leaders. So to bring the issue of professionalism to life, we should never even expect that government servants should begin to think of political ideologies in terms of how different they are. It's not our jurisdiction. Ours is to get a political directive which is not necessarily politically biased, which says, where do you want to take the country as government, politically speaking? Then ours is to implement those policies now, which seeks to address issues of unemployment, drive our economy. That's what we are trained for. We are not political analysts as civil servants. We are technocrats, and it should be just like that.
Yeah. Minister, there's